So I want to share three nursing specialties that I think or that I've loved working in as an internationally trained nurse. Okay. I see a lot of internationally trained nurses. They come over and they work in long term care and med surge. Now, there's nothing wrong with working in long term care and med surge. It's perfect. Somebody needs, they need people there. It's great. You have patients, whatever. But if you're looking for something more, or if you're a new internationally trained nurse and you're, trying to play around with your career choice, there are three specialties that I have worked in that I really, really like. So I'm going to start with the least to the best that I think, okay? So the number three, is perioperative nursing. So operating room nurse. I don't see a lot of Black people in the operating room. Many places I go, because I work at a site and I work also as a travel nurse, and every time I go to places, I'm always like the only Black person there. I'm like, where are you guys? Where are you? Like, why are you afraid of the operating room? Like, what is going on? Come and talk to me. Why are you scared of the operating room? I want to see more of you in the operating room. Now, one thing about the operating room is that it can be challenging when you're starting because you have people with type A personalities. Like, they are crazy, okay? And when you're starting out new, you have to go through a lot of training, you have to follow instructions. Now, if you are unlucky like me and you find yourself in a toxic workplace, because like when I started in the operating room here in Canada, I worked in a very toxic environment and it was hell. It was really, really bad. But if you're lucky, and I can also share with you some of the operating rooms that I've worked in BC and Alberta that are amazing, that you get really good training, amazing people. So comment, send me a DM or comment, make a comment. Let me know if you want to know which operating room you want to go to, and I can tell you. But once you get, and so because the operating room, there's a lot of protocol, things have to be done certain ways, because you're dealing with a lot of, like, you're trying to prevent infection, you're dealing with like critical patients, you have to be really, really good at what you do. So your training is usually very, very specific, very, very tough, but it helps and things get better if your preceptor is kind, if your preceptor is ready to teach you and they accept you. But if they don't, then it's hard, okay? But like I said, email me, DM me, and I can give you a list of operating rooms that are really Black friendly, and you can go get your training there. Because right now, the reason why operating room is really great place for Black nurses is that once you get your training, once you pass through that hurdle of getting trained, everything is really smooth. Okay, because you do the same thing over and over and over again, and you're always learning. There's always something new. You get to work closely with doctors and anesthesiologists and your fellow nurses. And once you've been there long enough, because in the operating room now, there's a lot of turnover. People are always leaving, mostly the Gen Zs. I didn't say anything, but you can actually end up having a lot of seniority there and everything like that. And that's number one. Then secondly, the patients are usually sleeping. Yeah, actually, that's one of my favorite thing about the operating room. The patients are sleeping, and where else can you have that? Where else? You don't have to do much. They're sleeping. Okay. Then thirdly, staff patient ratio. Unlike on the ward where you have like 12 patients or 6 patients, in the operating room, you cannot have more than one patient. I'm sorry. And you have doctors, you have anesthesiologists, you have another nurse, and yourself. And in BC, there is also this high nurse to patient ratio where they have like 3 nurses in the room, which is amazing, by the way. It makes the job so sweet. So yeah, you actually have like staffing is perfect. And finally, you have this very close working relationship with your coworkers, especially if you're working in a great place. It's like a family. I know when people say family is always a red flag, but in the operating room, it's not, because you get to know these people, you work with them. So the operating room is one place that I would recommend for Black nurses to come work in. And that's the third number 3 on, there's another one, number 2 and number 1. So if you want to know the second one and the position for international trained nurses, then stay tuned for my second video. But in the meantime, if you're interested in joining the operating room, I know so many operating rooms right now that are really, really short, and they're offering in-house training. And these places, they are amazing. Like there's one that is currently hiring, and it's one of the best places that I've worked. You will get so much support. You would never feel like you're different. You would never feel like you stand out. No, you just blend in, because nobody cares about where you're coming from. They just care that you're kind, you're loving, and you want to be part of the family there. So if you are looking to switch up your career a little bit, and being an operating room nurse is not hard. Once you've received your registered nursing certificate or degree, you can easily get a training in the OR. Back in the days, you need to have at least 2 years. Like when I did my operating room training, you have to have 2 years of basic nursing skills or experience before you can enroll in the program. But now they just take people from fresh off of the university or something, and you get trained. So you can actually get trained, and the training is about 6 months or less. And most places offer training in the operating room, so you actually get to train, and you get the orientation, and then you just jump right in. And you can work full-time if you want, and it's always 8-hour shift. There are no 12-hour shifts. It's 8-hour shifts. You can work full-time 5 days a week, or you can work part-time, sometimes 2 to 3 days a week, and sometimes you can even work 0.4, depending on how much you want to work. But it is a great place, and I love working in the operating room, and I would love to see you come to the operating room and work with me. So let me hear your comments, what you think about it. Now, don't be scared about working in the operating room. Just come and join me. And yes, like I said, if you want a list of best places to work in BC and Alberta, just let me know, and I will get you set up. See you in my next video, okay?